When we think of mass manufactured donuts, there is one company that comes to mind. And they want to go up against me? Yeah, sure, they may not have asked to, but we're gonna do it anyway. They call it the original donut, but first off, why do they even call it a donut? Dough and nut. I don't like that. The point is, we have a donut contender, and there's only one thing left to do about that.
This is gonna be the end of me saying Quispy. This is gonna be the last, because this actually is Krispy Kreme. Last night, Kate and I were talking about how we're starting our diets, and that was 2 nights ago.
Quippy!
How do you think we'll do?
I think you'll do good, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. I needed a blessing. We have the Krispy Kreme blessing.
Yeah. Bless you right there.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. He blessed us, yo.
We got the box. I'm really liking the smell of that artificial flavoring. I got an assortment of donuts, but we're not talking about all the donuts. We're just talking about this. The classic glazed bit. Listen. I hate to say it, but they're good. Like, they're pretty good. They're really soft. And these are, oh, I'll wait. Oh, he really revved it up at the end there, huh? He was like, brrrr, and I was like, I'll wait. And then he's like, ah! They're perfect looking and they're nice and glazed, blah, 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 blah. But I want to shit on these. There's a texture thing at the end that I don't like. Almost like a sliminess from the, like they have some sort of, like shortening plus some sort of binder. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's all right. But we can do better.
Start off by giving your measurements a little checkaroonie. Then combine 1 1/4 cup or 295 milliliters of whole milk and 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of water. Warm that up until it's about 95 to 98 degrees Fahrenheit. To that, you're gonna mix in 2.5 teaspoons or 7 grams of instant yeast, then let that sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes. Okay, so here I have 4.5 cups or 660 grams of all-purpose flour, but wait, I'm only adding half of that to our stand mixer bowl here. Sounded weirdly southern. Then you're gonna add 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon or 91 grams of granulated sugar, 1.5 teaspoons or 5 grams of fine sea salt. Give that some whiskey business until thoroughly combined. Pop on your spiral dough hook thingy, ling, and begin mixing on medium speed. While that's mixing, you're gonna add your yeasty milky mixture. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Along with 2 whole eggs. Let that mix for a little bit, and as soon as it begins to come together, you're gonna add 1/2 cup or 78 grams of shortening that's room temperature. Yes, I know. Oh my gosh, Josh is using shortening. It's the end of the world. Look, we're making Krispy Kreme donuts, okay? Not Josh's donuts. All right, we're trying to make this as poopy as possible. Yucky poopy. Very nice, thank you. Anyway, you're gonna continue to mix that on medium speed, scraping down the sides of the bowl as necessary for about 2 to 3 minutes. Once everything's nice and incorporated and smooth looking, you're then going to add the rest of your flour and then continue to mix until combined and nice and smooth, another 2 minutes or so. Now look, if it's too sticky boy hours, you can always add a couple extra tablespoons of flour, but it does need to be a little bit wet. You heard? Like I said, this dough is a little bit sticky, so once you're done mixing, lightly flour a work surface, dump out your dough, slap it around a little bit if it's not behaving. Gently shape it into a ball, plop it into a greased bowl, and then cover it with greased plastic wrap, and let that rise at room temperature for about an hour or until doubled and thick, like this. Before we get started, let's make our glaze to have it ready. Start off by measuring 2.5 cups or 330 grams of powdered sugar, then mix in 4 tablespoons of whole milk, 1 tablespoon at a time. Whisk that together, and once that begins to turn nice and smooth, you're then going to add 2 tablespoons or 28 grams of corn syrup. Now you might be wondering why, and the reason is because that's what gives it that classic crackle whenever you bite into it. And optionally, you can add a little splash of that good old VS vanilla extract. Stir all that together until completely smooth and looking reminiscent of something else. Right, so donuts. Only punch our dough down aggressively, but this time we're gonna gently slap it down, little pats. Give it some love, but degas that bit. Generously flour a work surface, dump out your dough, divide it into 2 equal pieces. Do your best to make it equal, all right? It's not rocket science. Take one of those halves, roll it out until it's about 1/2 inch thick, then using a 4-inch round biscuit cutter, you're just gonna cut out as many rounds as you can. You'll get around 12 total from all the dough here, and obviously using a smaller biscuit cutter, at least half the size, cutting out your holes for the donuts. I made my holes a little too big. I was trying to get them the classic shape, and well, I ended up with big donut hole energy, but that's fine, okay? It's fine. I'm not angry about it, all right? I'm not, so stop asking. Once you have all of your donut shapes, don't know why I said it like that, you're gonna fill a large, deep cast iron pan with about 2 inches worth of oil, but don't fill it beyond about halfway. You wanna make sure your donuts have room to float. Heat your oil to about 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Carefully drop in your donuts, lay them away from you, unless you want to splash hot oil all over yourself. Please don't do that, okay? Fry them for about 90 to 100 seconds, then flip them over another 90 to 100 seconds, or until nice and plump, beautifully browned, and transfer them to a wire rack lined baking sheet. Then just repeat with the rest of your donuts. Once all the donuts are fried, you're then going to dip them in the icing, generously coating them, and place them back onto your wire rack to drip drain. Make sure the glaze coats the whole donut, repeat with the rest. Now once all of your donuts are glazed, this is the most important step. Let them sit and let the glaze harden. Once the glaze is completely dried, you then may eat and enjoy, which we shall do now.
So now we have donuts. So visually they look a little bit different than the typical Krispy Kreme because they're made by a human with 2 hands, not a machine. Does Krispy Kreme make theirs with? They are made by a machine. All right, let us begin. Did I drool when I did that? So it's good. I know that it's good. I knew it would be good, but I need a comparison. So we'll take a bite. This is just straight sugar. So when you're eating this, you know, you don't want to you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a donut, and then just like, straight sugar in the mouth. Nobody wants that. Mine were also cooked a little bit darker, so you get some of that toasted deep flavor. So all things considered, overall flavor, texture, the ingredients used, just the final product as a whole, as always, we won, and I feel like we won. So I need a secondary opinion.
Okay, it's good. Okay, and this is Krispy Kreme. Here's the differences. This one is thicker than this one. And also
thicker.
Like, there's more bite to it.
Like chewy.
Chewy, yes. And then this one.
Thickness is like on a scale.
The Krispy Kreme, it kind of tastes like fast food and like the aftertaste.
So we won, but better. Episode 9. Heard it here. She said it. She said, Josh, you won. Very good job. Very proud of you. Thank you guys. Round of applause. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you. We win. We win. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We win again. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Wow. I really appreciate it. Okay. Love you. Bye.
But do you want to know what else appreciates the Krispy Kreme? B-roll.
Alright guys, and that is it. So we made Krispy Kreme donuts. I think we got pretty darn close. As a matter of fact, they're different enough that I think they kind of stand alone on their own. I don't know that I would say that they're necessarily better or not. I felt like for my personal taste, mine were better, but also at the same token, it's not to say that the Krispy Kreme ones were dramatically lesser either, but they did have that, like, as Kate was saying, the fast food flavor. They've got that like old taste to them. It's like this oil that's been frying for too long or something. I don't know what it is, but like, it's just got this lesser flavor. It's got a bitterness to it. It's got just a flat sweetness to it with no depth. You gotta have depth. And my stomach hurts because all I have eaten today is donuts. But if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.